And now, my children, I bid you to keep the commands of the Lord, and to show mercy to your neighbors, and to have compassion towards all, not towards men only, but also towards beasts. For all this thing's sake the Lord blessed me. And when all my brethren were sick, I escaped without sickness, for the Lord knoweth the purposes of each. Have therefore compassion in your hearts, my children, because even as a man doeth to his neighbor, even so also will the Lord do to him. For the sons of my brethren were sickening and were dying on account of Joseph, because they showed not mercy in their hearts. But my sons were preserved without sickness, as ye know. And when I was in the land of Canaan, by the sea coast, I made a catch of fish for Jacob my father, and when many were choked in the sea, I continued unhurt. I was the first to make a boat to sail upon the sea, for the Lord gave me understanding and wisdom therein. I let down a rudder behind it, and I stretched a sail upon another upright piece of wood in the midst. And I sailed therein along the shores, catching fish for the house of my father, until we came to Egypt. And through compassion I shared my catch with every stranger. And if a man were a stranger, or sick, or aged, I boiled the fish, and dressed them well, and offered them to all men, as every man had need, grieving with, and having compassion upon them. Wherefore also the Lord satisfied me with abundance of fish when catching fish, for he that shareth with his neighbor receiveth manifold more from the Lord. For 5 years I caught fish, and gave thereof to every man whom I saw, and sufficed for all the house of my father. And in the summer I caught fish, and in the winter I kept sheep with my brethren. Now I will declare unto you what I did. I saw a man in distress through nakedness in winter time, and had compassion upon him, and stole away a garment secretly from my father's house, and gave it to him who was in distress. Do you therefore, my children, from that which God bestoweth upon you, show compassion and mercy without hesitation to all men, and give to every man with a good heart. And if ye have not the wherewithal to give to him that needeth, have compassion for him in bowels of mercy. I know that my hand found not the wherewithal to give to him that needed, and I walked with him weeping for 7 furlongs, and my bowels yearned towards him in compassion. Observe therefore the waters, and know when they flow together, they sweep along stones, trees, earth, and other things. But if they are divided into many streams, the earth swalloweth them up, and they vanish away. So shall ye also be, if ye be divided. Be not ye therefore divided into 2 heads. For everything which the Lord made hath but 1 head, and 2 shoulders, 2 hands, 2 feet, and all the remaining members. For I have learnt in the writing of my fathers that ye shall be divided in Israel, and ye shall follow 2 kings, and shall work every abomination, and your enemies shall lead you captive, and ye shall be evil entreated among the Gentiles with many infirmities and tribulations. And after these things ye shall remember the Lord, and repent, and he shall cause you to return. For he is merciful and compassionate, and he setteth not down in account evil to the sons of men, because they are flesh, and the spirits of deceit deceive them in all their deeds. And after these things there shall arise unto you the Lord himself, the light of righteousness, and healing and compassion shall be in his wings. He shall redeem all the captivity of the sons of men from Beliar, and every spirit of deceit shall be trodden down, and he shall bring back all the Gentiles into zeal for him. And ye shall return unto your land, and ye shall see him in Jerusalem for his name's sake. And again, through the wickedness of your works shall ye provoke him to anger, and he shall be cast away by him unto the time of consummation. And now, my children, grieve not that I am dying, nor be cast down in that I am coming to my end. For I shall rise again in the midst of you, as a ruler in the midst of his sons, and I shall rejoice in the midst of my tribe, as many as shall keep the law of the Lord and the commandments of Zebulun their father. But upon the ungodly shall the Lord bring eternal fire, and destroy them throughout all generations. But I am now hastening away to my rest, as did also my fathers. But do ye fear the Lord our God with all your strength, all the days of your life. And when he'd said these things, he fell asleep at a good old age. And his sons laid him in a wooden coffin, and afterwards they carried him up and buried him in Hebron with his fathers.